Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. I must first apologise for appearing in this somewhat disembodied form, but it at least has the merit of being very low in carbon. Now, the reason for interrupting your evening lies in the fact that I have the pleasure of announcing who will be my regional ambassador for business in the community. Before I do so, I just wanted to say a few words about the importance that I attach to this role. For over a quarter of a century as president of business in the community, I have been fortunate to work with some of the most remarkable and far-sighted business leaders in this country, who have all shared a real determination to make a difference to the communities within which they operate. But in the present challenging times we face today, it seems to me that we have to redouble our efforts. Never has it been more vital for businesses of all sizes, not only to create the jobs and find the markets we need, but also to scale up their engagement in their own communities, wherever they are across the country. And let us not reinvent the wheel. We have more than a quarter of a century's worth of experience and knowledge about how to do it effectively and rapidly, whether in the fields of education, the rural environment, volunteering, mentoring, homelessness, or cause-related marketing. But the most important lesson we have learned is that change rarely happens without the dynamism of key individuals. This applies as much to those who lead community groups and organizations as it does to those who run businesses. From years of experience, I know that very rarely does anything of substance happen within a company unless it begins at the boardroom table. Whether it is ensuring a company truly addresses its carbon and waste strategy, or encouraging employee volunteering, or working with homeless ex-servicemen, it is the leadership shown by the chief executive that makes the whole difference. And that is why I set such store by my regional business in the community ambassadors. These individuals are selected because they lead from the front. They not only set the example, but they set the bar for achievement increasingly higher. Now, this matters enormously to me because, and here I hope this doesn't come as too much of a shock for the individuals concerned, I look to my ambassadors to fulfill two important roles. Firstly, of course, I want them to work closely with myself and the chairman and chief executive of business in the community, ensuring that we are kept up to speed with what is happening in the regions and where help is needed, so that we can act as effectively as possible in response. Secondly, they are to be the regional leaders of the new Business Emergency Recovery Group. I set up this initiative having, over the years, visited many parts of the country affected by natural disasters, particularly flooding. The needs of the communities in these situations are enormous, and there is no doubt that if businesses in the area worked together, they could do an enormous amount to ease both the immediate and more long-term problems, particularly around insurance and logistics. John Varley, the recently retired chief executive of Barclays, is the national chairman of the group, and he and I will depend heavily on my regional ambassadors should a disaster strike their area. I am therefore delighted that Tim Jones, senior partner at Freshfields, has agreed to remain as my ambassador in London for another year. Tim is a hugely valuable and long-standing member of my London leadership team. He has, amongst other things, worked tirelessly to promote the work of the Business Action on Homelessness campaign. And earlier this year, I was very pleased to celebrate the 10th anniversary of Business Action on Homelessness's Ready for Work programme, which helps formerly homeless people take their first steps back into employment. His contribution as chair of the London Steering Group is an enormous support to those delivering the scheme in the capital, and his passionate advocacy for the campaign inspires so many into action. Now, this is just one example, one powerful example, of how businesses can bring about life-changing opportunities in their local communities. I really am so grateful for everything Tim and Freshfields have done to support the campaign's efforts. For instance, Freshfields has provided over 170 work placements and now employs 15 graduates of the programme. Needless to say, I'm particularly delighted that he is to continue as my ambassador in London for a further year. The capital, I think, is very fortunate to have someone like him on its side, and I greatly appreciate all his help. I do hope, ladies and gentlemen, you all enjoy the rest of the evening.